Streaming live every Saturday morning from Darin Bergsven Guitar Studio near Chester Creek in Duluth, Coffee and Guitar celebrates the guitar music and guitar players of the Minnesota Northwoods. There's a mighty forest of great guitar players that stretches from the headwaters of the Mississippi to the shore of Lake Superior. Each month, Coffee and Guitar welcomes a guest, a guitar giant of the Northwoods, to tell guitar stories, share guitar insights, and make guitar music. Good morning, happy Saturday. Welcome to Coffee and Guitar with Darin Bergsven, featuring Keith Secola. Oh my goodness, welcome Keith. Thank you for being here.
I'm happy to be here.
Good morning. Good morning, Mina Gigashad, Arnie and Ivy. Morning, Mom. Morning, Lager R&M. Good morning, Barb, Sherilyn, everyone. Keith, let's get into it.
All right.
How do you take your coffee?
I'll take it plain.
Plain. You know,
no sugar, no additives.
No, nothing.
Black medicine water.
Exactly.
Just some black medicine water, please.
I've been...
Mashkiki Wabu. Yeah. Look at that steam coming off. That's real. That's hot.
It's good stuff. Thank you, Aaron, for the coffee.
I usually do a little Americano, and I call it Native Americano, and I top it off with a little water in there, and then if I'm at a Bristol, I have the Bristol make a little eagle feather or something with maybe steam milk, you know,
Oof, yeah,
or maybe
it's
a chief's bonnet or something. Then I call it a Native Americano.
A Native Americano.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's good to be here this morning.
Cheers.
That's even better. Whoa, that's the best coffee I had. Good.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. That we love this press.
Yeah. I'm impressed.
Aaron's
Thank you.
Aaron's sister gave it to us many
Very
Christmases
impressive.
ago.
Very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you did there.
Aaron's a big fan of puns.
Oh, good. Yeah, old man. Grandpa talk. You know.
Oh, Keith, let's play some music.
All right.
We're going to Duluth.
This song is called To Duluth. And I'll just tell a brief story about the beginning.
Please.
When I was going to school and growing up on the Iron Range, I was going to get a bus ticket down to Minneapolis or something like that. And on Virginia, the bus depot, I was behind an elderly man. He was dressed in a brown suit with a brown hat with really nice leather shoes on. And he couldn't speak very good English. When he went up to the ticket agent at the bus depot in Virginia, he goes, To Duluth? And the ticket agent looked at him, a young woman, that's kind of confused, like, To Duluth, please. You know, and I turned to her and I said, I think he wants 2 tickets to Duluth. And she was really, and he goes, yeah. And so that's where the song came from. And then, like, songs like that, you plant the seed, you know, and then you catch a song in your song catcher, and it remains there, and then sometimes you come to it 20 years later, you know. And so this is To Duluth. And it's in honor of all the immigrants and all the original people up here on the Northland. You can sing at home. Just me and my sweetheart go to Duluth, to Duluth, to Duluth. Just me and my sweetheart go to Duluth. Came down a long time, left the old world behind on a boat full of immigrants bound to work in the mines. I saw you that day. I wanted to say I love you in English. Let me say it this way. To Duluth, to Duluth. Just me and my sweetheart go to It's a long bus ride down to Duluth from the range, stopping in cotton and twig on the way. My true love and me, we go there to play. To Duluth, we go there today. To Duluth, to Duluth. Just me and my sweetheart go to Duluth. To Duluth, to Duluth. Just me and my sweetheart go to Duluth. Go ahead, Darin. Just me and my sweetheart go to Duluth. Just me and my sweetheart. Hey, does this bus go to Duluth? No, it goes beep beep. Duluth.
Keith Secola, everybody. To Duluth.
To Duluth.
Cheers, Keith.
Cheers to you. I have another verse, but it's full of slangs.
Oh, this
and
is a
stereotypes, so I don't say it.
This is a family program. We have grandmas and grandkids watching here. We gotta watch it.
Yeah. Well, it's a good one.
It's a good. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's real good.
It's about the melting pot on the Iron Range, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You gotta melt down that iron. Who all is here? Cheryl and Ed, good morning. Ed Schaefer's tuning in from Austin, Texas. David, good morning. David and Mitra. Linda, Patrick, the gang's all here. Steve Myers, good morning, Steve. All right. Just learned a new one this morning. Well, these are all new. I'm just learning all these new ones since yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
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 This
is a great word.
This is a premise of a book, a novel. It's written. It's called Yes is Better Than No, and it was written by a To'atum woman from Arizona in Tucson. And the irony of the song, and the book is the day she gets evicted from her house, you know, from not paying rent and things like that, she won a raffle for a swimming pool. And so they dig the swimming pool, and she moves out of her house after she's kicked out into the swimming pool. And, you know, the whole thing, the premise is yes is better than no. And life is kind of like that, too, the metaphors of doing things and just having that light on and saying, yeah, you know, like, and you're attracted to that word and rather than the negativity. You know, like there's a popular thing that actors do. They say, oh, can you see the eagle fly? And the next actor says yes, and it flies into the sunset. And the next actor says, and into the heavens. But if someone says, I can't see the eagle fly, the whole story falls. And so yes is better than no. It's like the Rainbow Bridge that was from the Channel Islands of California into the mainland. They said there was a rainbow bridge that the Indians crossed, and they could cross it, this rainbow bridge, if they didn't look down. And so that's like yes is better than no. And then they looked down, they'd fall into the ocean and turn into a dolphin. Mm-hmm. And this is the song, Yes is Better Than No. cigarette and ponders the aftermath. Wonder what life will bring down that forbidden path. Drags her feet across the floor as she heads on out the door. Afraid to quit, won't admit she can't give no more. No, you can't do yes. No, you can't do yeah. Contemplating plain intent, intending contemplation. Time to wait, speculate, reflect on instant waiting. She wants to do what she wants to oppose the destination. Like a needy must proceed a permanent vacation. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do yeah. We all get together, dance and sing. She will lead us to the silver ring around the crescent moon. Silver ring. Picture yourself on the St. Louis River. A green slurry sludge comes floating downstream. Released by a husky, some say it's a gold mine. Some say it's a kaleidoscope dream. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do yes. I'll take one. Hand in mouth, they watch eagles soar. Left behind their down minds and dreams they can't ignore. They want to do what they want to oppose the destination. Like a need, they must proceed a permanent vacation. Release. Can't live your dreams. No, yes. Got wings. You can do, yeah. Yes. Yes. No, you can't do, yeah. All right. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Makade mashkikubu wabu. Yes.
Good stuff, Keith.
Yeah.
Yes. Maxie, good morning. Steve and Maxie are watching.
All right.
Bass player from yesterday.
All right,
Steve.
he played against Henry.
Yes, he did. Tanner, good morning. Good to hear from you, Tanner. Aaron and I were talking about you over coffee this morning. Good to hear from you. Patrick, good morning. All right. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Some Wailin blues.
Oh, yes.
If I recall correctly, this had 3 parts to it.
I think it's
I might
also
even-
at the intersection of Minnehaha and Hiawatha, and so it's got a minimal thing in it. It's based on the blues and things. In my dying, the walls are closing in. I hear the angels crying. The end's about to begin. Who's this stranger I don't know? Pounding hard on my chest. I'm so tired, I wanna lay down, take a rest. Let this dying pass. I'm flying all around, shroud cover my face, sun singing chant, take me to this place, spirit hold my hand, maintain my faith, in my darkest hour, I become a man. Hey, cover my face, sun singing chime. Take me to this place, Spirit hold my hand, maintain my faith. In my darkest hour, I become a man. The Wailin Blues.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wailin.
And it kind of steps out of time and things, and I think sometimes the blues needs to do that a little bit, because a lot of times when you're playing with cats, they want to go up to the 4 or the 5 right away, just like how it naturally sounds. But I think when you hang back and just like let the feelings come, and then just have some kind of structure to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that song is about, like that being able to breathe into it, you know, like so it becomes a spontaneous, like most of the Anishinabe teachings teaches you to be in the present tense. And so like, yeah, that song brings you into that present tense for the players and the people too. Mm-hmm. It sounds really cool when you get, you know, a bunch of people singing, hey, you know, that live thing. It's really a pulse, you know, that pulse. And so that's what that song is. I wrote that song up on the Iron Range, you know, when I was a young man up there.
Would you tell us about that? What is your guitar story? How did this instrument come into your life?
Well, I always credit my mother and the matriarchs of the Anishinabe families. Like she would get like get Rummensell's guitars, so we'd always have like a guitar or two around the house growing up, and so we'd always be influenced by that. And there were relatives. I remember some native relatives who'd play guitar a little bit and being around the house, and they would be singing some Merle Haggard or Johnny Cash or something like that. And then growing up in Parkville, there are a few guitar playing families. One was my friend James Pavla, a great guitar picker on Iron Range. And I'd go down to his house, and he was younger than me too, and he knew the chords and things. Right. And so like when I was a senior in that, after all that guitar influence, I would I wanted a guitar, you know, and so when I was 17, I painted houses.
Okay.
And I painted all summer. I was a good trim man, really a good trim person.
Takes a steady hand.
Yeah, and I wouldn't use tape and things. And my dad would always have me on a trim, because when you get a good trim person, you keep them.
Yep.
And so I would trimmed houses all summer, and I saved up about $500. For me, that was a lot. And instead of buying a car, I bought a guitar. And there are a lot of people who were like, "Oh no, you should have bought a car."
No. You made the correct
But my
choice.
dad said, "Maybe someday you'll buy a car with that guitar." And so
Dad's a wise man.
and so I hitchhiked to Hibbing, Minnesota, and I bought my first guitar from Crippa Music, up there in Hibbing on the Iron Range. And there was a Gibson Marauder electric, and I bought a little Vibrochamp guitar.
Yep.
And I hitchhiked back to Virginia,
Because you didn't have a car.
Yeah. It's like buying a wallet with your last $5.
Right.
And so it was kind of like that, and so that began it, man. And so I took lessons for about a month, and then I realized that it was all about learning from people. And then on guitar, it's like when you learn how to, just learning how to play from E minor to G, and when you learn how to chord guitars, that's when the liberation happens. Mm-hmm. When you can change your chording hands together.
That's a big leap.
That's a big leap in guitar playing, because then you can sing songs, and you know how songs go and things like that.
Yep.
That Bob Dylan. I remember one of the first. Songs like that you can learn, and you can switch them up, and then it's such a liberating thing. Maybe to even learn the bass line, like
now he's talking my language.
and then so magical things happen, and that also what correlates is that songwriting. Even at that point, early on, I started writing songs. When you said, how did the guitar come into your life? When my mom would get them Rummensell guitars, no one in our family really knew how to change strings or anything like that,
anything to do with
or
it,
even knew what strings were really, other than you go buy them at a store.
Yeah.
But soon a 6-string, after 5 years would become a 5-string, and after 6 years would become a 4-string.
That is the progression.
7 years,
and eventually you need 3, a new guitar.
And then 8 years, then you start writing songs on 2 strings.
Oh, that's
and this song I wrote on 2 strings, and it's a total spontaneous song. I'll play a little bit of it. It's called King by Now, but that was the idea, and it's about Parkville, Minnesota, which isn't there anymore. The mines ate it up where I grew up, and that's a very discerning feeling when you can't get back to your homeland. So you make the world your homeland. Ready? It's like. So many things. I could have a queen by now, if only I were king. I'm not down about it, though I'm melancholy, helplessly, hopelessly romantic, hyperly melodramatic. I love. There ain't no doubt 2 strings when I look into your eyes. The only doubt I see is a reflection of me. that's the two strings songs, and you write a song on two strings, you're very vulnerable. And I like the vulnerableness,
Exposed.
the exposedness. But I think too, like when they moved us out of the hill in Parkville, first they moved the people off the hill, and then they have the houses. They start moving the houses, and then on our hill in Parkville, there was a registered jack pine tree that was the oldest one in North America. On that hill, maybe a couple 100 yards from my house.
Yeah.
And there were some old white pine trees over 300, maybe the original stands. A lot of them. And so then they move the people, they move the houses, so the streets are abandoned things, and then they cut the trees down. That's the most painful part. And they seem like they left a tree up there like it was giving us a finger. The oldest white pine for about a week, and then they cut it down. And so that's that vulnerability in that song, that pain that comes with that, that the motherland kind of being lost in. And then trees have a consciousness. We talk about interspecies communications in between plants and animals, but I was sitting on a Laurentian divide shortly after that happened, and I was looking the other way, and something turned me around, and it was them trees on the logging tree going up north, probably to the pulp mines and things like that. But all them trees on there, they were old trees too. And so if I were king by now, I'd tell them, don't cut them trees down, at least keep them up there. But that mine's going. You can look at it between Virginia and Mount Iron, that town of Parkville. The southern part is there, but all the northern part where we'd swim in the pits and grow up, where there were beaver dams and things like that, and rivers of three waters was close to that. The Laurentian Divide, with all the water in the world, is in the ocean underground up here. And so it was really relevant. It still is. And in Hibbing, there's a Hall mine that still has a little patch of the earth that was actually the true Laurentian Divide, where the Hill of Three Waters split. And that's still standing, and it's up there by Lookout Mountain, and even up in Lookout, some of the last Lakota and Sioux, Lakota and Anishinabe battles were up there on Lookout Mountain, and people don't even know where they are.
I don't know where they are.
They're up there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
But that's above Parkville, And Parkville was a retreating place where Anishinaabe people would come to heal themselves with all the water and things like that. And so it's really about water. But the vulnerability and where the guitars come from, the guitar heroes. On the Iron Range, of course, you got to talk about, I say the three Bobs, like Bob Dylan, Bob Marley, and Bob Young.
All right, the three
Neil
Bobs.
Young, but I call them Bobs just for the sake of
because you
that
need three
story.
Bobs.
Yeah, I need three Bobs. And so those are kind of like some of the guitar players that influenced you, and then you learn so much from your friends, like hanging out and playing in bands, like my friend Dan Boyer and Steve Marnetti. We had a band on the Iron Range, and Sharon Rowbottom and Tim Wright. We were called the Schwartz Brothers at that time, kind of after it was more of appreciation, of the Jewish brothers that had a grocery store on the Iron Range.
Okay.
And we liked them, and and so we had a misfit band, of bottom feeders, but Sharon could really sing and would get us into places, and we were kind of like, other than Dan, I speak for myself, we're like the jester, we're learning to play guitars and having fun. And that enthusiasm is contagious, when it is, even if you see it, if at least if the guitars are in tune and semi in rhythm and things like that, it's really fun to see. And so that's what I experienced. And when I say you learn from people, you learn from bands like Cats Under the Stars, good guitar players in this town, Paul Metza, and Jack Pasternacki and Tim O'Keefe and people
Paul
like
Metza
that.
plays Wednesdays at Blackwater now.
Yeah, and so like people like that, who influence you and show you things and help you along in things. And you write songs. For me, I was always writing. I started writing the song "NDN Kars" up there on the Iron Range. It took me about 10 years to really truly learn how to write it and play it.
That song?
Yeah.
Do you want to do it?
Oh yeah, sure. This song is I call it a Native Americano finger picking style, Native American finger picking style, and it's about the richness of being poor, kind of, the tongue-in-cheek thing. Linda Grover told me yesterday when I was working for her in the 20s and Hibbing, that she remembers my old Indian car, which was an old 67 Chrysler. At the time, I had an 8-track player that was worth $100 what I paid for the car. But a teacher up there gave me the car because I was going to school and knew my story a little bit. Yep. So you need a car too.
He knew you blew all your money on guitars and you needed some wheels.
But the coolest thing about that 67 Newport, it had a dent in it that it hit a bear. The bear wasn't hurt, but it had bear power on that.
Nice.
That car.
Bear power.
Yeah. And now my grandson's name, Nkosi, is his little bear. I've been riding in my Indian car, the pound of the wheel in my brain. My dash is dusty, plates are expired. Please, Mr. Officer, let me explain. Got to make it to a powwow tonight, singing 49 down by the riverside, looking for sugar, riding in my Indian car. I've been riding in my Indian car, the pound of the wheel drumming in my brain. My dash is dusty, my plates are expired. Please, Mr. Officer, let me explain. I gotta make it to a podcast this morning, drink some coffee, sing some songs, and play guitar, looking for sugar, riding in my Indian car. Polka, hey! Car's dented, the radiator steams, one headlight don't work, the radio can scream. Got a sticker, says Indian Power, I stuck it on my bumper. It holds my car together. We're on a circuit of an Indian dream. We don't get old, we just get younger. We're flying down the highway, riding in our Indian car. Go to hell. Take her on the verse, okay? sticker, says Indian power. I stuck it on my bumper, that's what holds my car together. We're on a circuit of an Indian dream. We don't get old, we just get younger. When we're flying down a highway, riding in an Indian car. Go ahead, Darin, take it around the block. Polka, hey! We're on a circuit of an Indian dream. We don't get old, we just get young. When we're flying down a highway, riding in our Indian car. Riding in our... Hey now, what's the matter with your head now? Alright, I said now find it, get it together if you want some, get it together, baby. Come and get your love, come and get your love, come and get your mom. Come and get your... We got these free promotional mugs right here at the coffee with Darin. Come and get your mug.
Click the little description below.
Mug
There's a
today,
link in there
Moshki goes,
somewhere. I don't know.
Hey now, what's the matter with your head? We're on a circuit of an Indian dream. We don't get old, we just get young. When we're flying down a highway, riding in our Indian car. All right, the melody, the medley.
Medley, yeah. Come and get your...
Yeah, the Indian hits medley. Yeah.
yeah.
We had to take Bear My Heart, a Wounded Knee off of that medley.
Oh, we should check in over here. There's lots of folks. Oh my goodness. Jay Hines is loving the stories, positive songs, harmonies. Good morning from John. Son of Mel, good morning. Kim Leon's here. You're gonna go see Kim and Jose later, right? No? Yeah. You doing another show today? You have something more going on?
No, I'm
Okay.
down to Minneapolis tomorrow. I'm going.
Okay, I was...
I'm going to go up to Winnipeg tomorrow to play for Ernest Munoz. He's called the King of the North, and he's his 75th birthday party. He's a Cree Indian, and he really is like Merle Haggard, George Jones. Even asked them, to come to Nashville and record and come on tour with us, but Ernest refused. He just kind of had his niche up there, and he's the King of the North, and so I'm gonna go up there and honor him and play. Tomorrow we're playing at the Burt Cummings Theater on Sunday.
Okay.
And so going down to Dave Huckfield's and Annie Humphrey's tattoo party later on.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pick up my grandchildren and spend the night with them.
Nice.
So
Very
it's
good. That sounds lovely. I get to head down to Moose Lake tomorrow and play a concert with Briand and Sam.
Well, like I said before, those are two monsters of the Northland, you know.
Speaking of guitar giants, oh my goodness.
I love playing, you know, Brian and both of them with jazz players really take the guitar playing up to another level. You know, I got to play with Jim Peppers. He was a sax player. He was a popular song in the 90s called Wichita Too. And he had a jazz band, and he was a jazz player, and I hung around with them later in their lives, you know, maybe 5 years ago, and I heard some of them, Grenou and the players, and they're really scary the way they played guitar.
Yeah.
And so I know how Brian and you know,
trying
Mitch
not to get too wrapped
play
up in my head
and
here.
You're a good guitar player too, so it's great, you know, like fantastic that that's going on.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. Really wonderful. They both were guests on the show like you, and this whole thing is kind of come
good.
from that, kind of
yeah,
unfolded from
the
that.
steps, you know,
Yep.
like the hoodlum steps.
Who else do we have over here? Ivy says in her next life she wants to come back as Keith.
It's you know what, Abby, you could come back as your own, but a modified version. You know, take a little bit from there, and we all can live these dreams. You know, I was thinking about that. There's things that come along with it, but just to be able to play the long game, you know, that's what I've been playing. And right now, as an older person, the doors are opening. They didn't open so much before, but you know, I had things that were in the way, and so it's nice to clear the path. And now there's a path for other people to come through. You know, at first there wasn't really a path through this forest for me, anyways. So I just had to keep walking and walking over it, and now other people can see a Javelina trail.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. Javelinas. What do you think about
Let's.
Javelinas are the marginal creatures of the Southwest. And just like Indians are the marginal creatures of America. drank the water of the Hacienda. They cannot speak the truth. The beans of the jojoba, the beans of the mesquite, the flowers of the chiparosa, the fruits of the saguaro, velvet answer, Gila monsters dance to the wild heavenly, wild javelina, 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 wild javelina. Wild javelina, wild javelina, wild javelina, wild javelina. They spoke praises to the javelin, praises to the javelin. Wild javelina. All right, nice.
Very nice.
The javelinas, the lyrics of the Southwest.
Mm-hmm. I've got a tune called that I call the Dancing Swallows that I wrote while I was down there visiting Barb.
Oh, it's magical down there. I think in that song there's a river there. They call it the Hacienda, and there's a town in Arizona called Wickenburg. You know, and they say that there were 3 witches that lived in that town, and they spelled the water. They witched the water, so anything that flew south of the town of Wickenburg, anybody who drank that water could never tell the truth.
That's
Yeah, and so I say, you know, they from the water, but the javelinas drank it. You know, they weren't affected by it so much as long as they could play their instruments.
Yep.
They could kind of cling to the truth and get through the spell. And so you got to kind of cling to the truth to get through the spell of the water of the Hacienda, the upside down river. It's a Hopi word, and all the lyrics, you know, the Bajadas are parts of the mountains that come down like an arm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're a long extension of it. Velvet ants. There's actually ants that have red velvet on them in Arizona. They're a little bit big, like crawling bumblebees. And you see them. Wow, they're really a velvet ant, you know. And Gila monsters, you know, they're the most deadly.
Yeah.
If you get bitten, you know, like I had an elder say, well, you know, if you get bit by a scorpion, it's going to sting. You get bit by a rattlesnake, you might, you know, you could, danger. You get bit by a Gila monster, you better kiss yourself goodbye. You know, something
Serious
like.
stuff.
But they're very docile.
Yeah.
You know, unless you get quartered or something. You know, the enzymes and the poisons and things like that. So it's all full of that enchantment and that magic. You know, the Apache stronghold. I used to say that Spanish gold, but I like that. I think the Apache stronghold was more valuable than gold. I've been on top of them in Cochise stronghold, not in so much in the Chiricahua Mountains, but in the Superstition Mountains. And so it's full of southwestern imagery and magic about the Javelinas.
Mm-hmm. It's a really cool tune.
Yeah.
And it gets stuck in your ear. It'll stay a while.
Oh, yeah. And some nice jazz playing. Jazz cats can play on that.
Yeah, that minor 2/5 is
See, I don't even know that.
It's a fun place to be.
Minor 2/5, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, so much good music and talk. We've played an hour here. We got a couple more tunes. Do we? Moonrising and Frybread. There wasn't a request that came in for Frybread. Could we do?
Yeah, we could do a little bit of that.
It's not like they're gonna kick us out.
No, yeah, right.
The venue's pretty forgiving here. We can go long if we
talk
want.
to Erin.
Yeah.
She might come in and say it's over.
And
the
I
hockey,
don't know. Elliot's looking pretty antsy over there.
Yeah,
Elliot, we got it.
The song is called Frybread, but there's two parts. The two clans is the turtle clan. Like you're making a flour tortilla. So in your places you can just kind of clap along like you're making a flour tortilla. Yeah. And then the other part is the Eagle clan, and they flap along like, whoa, like this. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Okay. So. Time ago in the streets of Duluth, Frybread was illegal. You couldn't eat Frybread, or you couldn't speak Frybread, or you couldn't even ride a Frybread bicycle down Superior Street. So the good people at this podcast had these illegal Frybread gatherings once a year, and everybody came. Nobody was turned away. Everybody belonged. So these legal Frybread gatherings, they grew and grew. More people, like a little herd of buffalo, they grew and grew. So the state wanted a piece of the Frybread, so they placated the federal government into passing some Frybread laws, like the Frybread Removal Act, the Frybread Allotment Policy, the Trail of Grease. And they hired military people like Colonel Sanders and Captain Crunch, Major Ripoff and Major Delay, to enforce the Frybread laws. But they couldn't keep the people down, because Born of the People was a Frybread messiah. 3 sisters who went around North America and said, you can't do much with sugar, flour, lard, and salt, except maybe trade 86 million acres of land. But that's another story. Back to the Frybread story. So they went around and they said, you got to mix a secret ingredient in that fry bread, that sugar, flour, lard, and salt. And it's the most powerful medicine that all the people on earth have. The native people talk about it. They say the strongest medicine we have is a secret ingredient of fry bread. And that secret ingredient is love. It's our strongest medicine. So you mix it in there and you stir it up, little darling. You know, you stir it up and you stir it up. You get fry bread. You get 500 years of sharing, of resistance, of caring. You'll get a reoccurring thing, a recovery, a discovery, happiness. So today we're going to make the fry bread rise. Ready? The dough rise. Fry bread.
Fry bread.
You got it like you're waking up. Fry bread.
Fry bread.
Peaky bread.
Picky bread.
Got boo-boo bread.
Got boo-boo bread.
Bannock bread.
Bannock bread.
Bequasian gun. White bread.
White bread.
Wheat bread.
Wheat bread.
Rye bread.
Rye bread.
Fry bread.
Fry bread.
Sopapillas.
Sopapilla.
Pizza fria.
Pizza fria.
Fry bread.
Fry bread.
Fry bread.
Fry bread.
Fry bread.
Fry bread.
Darin, take us home, blazingly. Thank you all for tuning today. We went a little bit over the hour, a little bit under 2 hours. Thanks to our live audience. Having fun up here on this hill in Duluth.
Get some pancakes.
Pancakes and fry bread. Here we go. Fry bread, fry bread. And then I'm going to play a little flute song to say adios. In A minor, okay?
A minor.